Dear students, today we are going to talk about a very unique thing. You must have heard many times that how the scientists of NASA were able to use the force applied by sun rays and push the mission, the rocket moving towards Mars, using that push obtained from the light rays coming from sun and falling upon it. Well, otherwise it is not evident that in our day-to-day life we have sunlight coming on our body and we never feel like that it is exerting some force or some pressure on it, but on our surface, on our body, but that is because this force is very negligible and so we do not notice it. But while in a space, even a small force will be effectively observed because there is no resistance as such to oppose the effect of this force created due to the sunlight falling on the body. Now here you see we have already learned that whatever, when a light wave is incident on a surface, some energy is absorbed from the light, and that light energy and work equivalence theorem, from that we can say that it is equivalent to work done, and work done we know is force into displacement along the force, and therefore we can write since this work done is equal to energy absorbed, that is the total change in energy, the total energy of the radiations absorbed by the surface in time t, then we have energy equivalent to work done equivalent to F into displacement along force. Therefore we can write force exerted due to the absorption of energy of the light ray falling on it will be given by delta U by delta X, where delta U is the total energy of the incident light. Now if we consider now we know that force is equal to rate of change in momentum, and therefore we have change in momentum is equal to force into time, and that is for force we can put delta U by delta X and multiply it by delta T. We will get the change in momentum, and that becomes delta U by delta X by delta T, and delta X by delta T can be written as this is displacement upon time, so we can write it as speed. So we have here we are having the light ray, so we can write delta U by delta C is equal to change in momentum due to the change in momentum of the photon, that is the light ray, are considered as the particles, and we will be coming across such assumptions and discussions in the coming chapter. So the change in momentum of the photon will be equal to delta U by delta C. This we have to remember. Now we have three different types of surface. One surface we can assume that the light ray incident on it is completely absorbed by it, means a totally 100% black body, and second could be the 100% reflecting surface, a complete white body, and third could be the ordinarily which we observe is that it is partially absorbing some incident ray, some energy of the incident ray, and reflecting back some of the incident energy. So we are discussing all these three cases one by one. If the light ray incident on a surface is totally absorbed, this is the first case. When it is totally absorbed, then in that case what happens? The final momentum of the photon particle will be zero. Why this happens? Because we know that for the light at rest have zero rest mass, means when the light ray comes at rest its mass becomes zero, and while it is in motion it is having some very negligible mass. So therefore we can understand that when the light comes at rest, then the total the change in momentum will be equal to the energy absorbed by C, and delta U is nothing but the total energy of the incident photon particle. That is the light ray incident on the surface. The particles of the light ray are having the energy delta U, and so therefore change in momentum of the photon will be, it is coming at rest, so change in momentum will be delta U by C. This is the first case, means when the light ray is completely absorbed, the change in momentum is equal to this much. We can now we can talk about the second case. Well, second case, if the light ray incident on the surface is totally reflected. This is the yet another extreme type of surface, 100% reflection. In this case, the change in momentum of the light particles will be 2 delta U by C. Why we write it factor 2 here? You must recall when you were reading in class 11, you have learned the problem where a tennis ball is incident on a wall and it is coming back with the same speed. Then in that case, the change in momentum was twice the momentum of the particle of the ball. So therefore we have twice 2 into delta U by C. The momentum, please, I request you to go through that problem given in NCERT book, so that you have a better understanding of this, the factor 2, why we have introduced it. So this is the second case, when the surface is totally reflecting, means the speed of light is not changing and direction is 100% is reversed by 180 degree, and in that case the change in momentum will be twice of that when it is completely absorbed by the surface. The third case is if the surface is partially absorbing the incident energy and partially reflecting it, then in that case we can very much understand the change in momentum must lie in between these two extremes, that is delta U by C and 2 delta U by C. Therefore we have the third case, when ordinarily we have this type of surface, when surface is neither 100% absorbing nor 100% reflecting. So now we must also recall what is intensity of light. Well, we will recall it once again. Intensity of light is total energy incident normally on a unit surface per second. The light ray when incident normally on a surface, then the total energy incident on a surface when light ray is incident normally per unit area per second is defined as intensity of light. And if that is the case, then the total energy of the incident light will be, intensity of light means this is the energy incident in unit area in unit time. So if we have A area, then we multiply it by A, and if we have more than 1 second or something different from 1 second, we multiply it by delta T. So that will be the total energy incident on the surface. The photon, the light ray incident on the surface will have the total energy given by I into A into delta T, where A is the total surface area and delta T is the total time considered, and I is the intensity of light ray incident. And if this is the case, we can if we take delta T equal to 1 second, means we consider this time to be 1 second, then the incident light ray for 100% being absorbed will be given by the delta U is equal to IA, because we have already seen that what is you see, we have seen that delta U is what? IA into delta T. But if we are considering delta T is equal to 1, therefore delta U is equal to IA, total energy incident will be equal to IA, provided delta T is taken equal to 1 second. And therefore the force applied by photons on the surface will be change in momentum of the photon divided by time. Since we have taken time equal to 1 second, so we are having a change in momentum delta u by c. We have already calculated it, delta u by c. This is the case when the light ray is 100% absorbed. For 100% absorption, we have change in momentum is equal to delta u by c, and therefore we can write radiation pressure, that is change in momentum by time, that is force, and force divided by surface area gives us pressure, and force is nothing but equal to Ia by c, and that divided by area. So Ia by c, that divided by area, total surface area, is equal to I by c. This is the total radiation pressure when the light is being 100% absorbed. This is the expression for radiation pressure, means force per unit surface area applied by the light ray when it is incident on a surface. That is I by c. If we consider second case, if the radiation is 100% reflected back by the surface, in that case the change in momentum will be 2Ia by c. We are just putting the value of delta u. Delta u is Ia into delta t. Delta t taken 1 second, therefore delta u is equal to Ia, and since for the totally reflecting surface we have twice the previous value, and therefore we have twice the previous value, and therefore we have 2Ia by c divided by a, and that becomes 2I by c. This is the second case when the light ray is 100% being reflected. Then the radiation pressure exerted by the light ray incident on a surface, if the surface is 100% reflecting back the incident ray, will be given by 2I by c, where I is what? The intensity of light ray, and c is the speed of light ray. And the third case will be if the surface is neither 100% absorbing the incident ray nor 100% reflecting back the incident ray. That means in that case the radiation pressure, we call it pressure partial, must lie between I by c and 2I by c, which is very much visible. So I believe that you all have understood all these three cases, and now you have gained a confidence that, well, really light ray when incident on a surface will exert some force, will exert some pressure, and that is very commonly known as radiation pressure. That's all for today. Thank you and have a nice day.